Alqubit, IT as an expression of art.
Hello, welcome again to Alqubit. My name is Borislava Tachev and I am the founder of Alqubit. This will be the first video on completely different from all previous videos. I am beginning my technology content pillar with video production, and today I will show my personal list of the best TCP/IP books, which during the last 20 years I have been studying constantly. You can never learn TCP/IP enough. So you study, reach the certain level, and after that you have the awareness, but obviously if you don't use the flags, you forget the details. So I have very exciting list. I have created it during the years, especially when I signed up to the university in Milan for system security. There was one book only that was using, which in my opinion wasn't so good, too much academic but less understandable. And I began to expand, as always, to overinvest, and I have expanded my library like crazy during the years. So TCP/IP has around, I think, 20 or 30 books max, which are absolutely the Bibles of TCP/IP. No one is from Cisco. I have the list that I have prepared on my Amazon account, which will be available. I will share it in the video description, which the description is available not on all the platforms. It will be available on LinkedIn for sure, on Facebook, and on YouTube. On X, there not copied the descriptions, and on Twitch as well. The description are missing. So this is quite long list. The books are, some of them are quite expensive, but they are absolutely gold in order to understand the books. I started in, my mouse is leaving me. What is Commer? Content networks. My mouse is doing whatever. Let's return here to us. So there will be no mouse. Probably I'm too far from my server. It is losing pieces. So I have here all the physical books near me. I'm watching today. I have installed 1080p monitor I'm constantly in confusion which camera is but today I will look downward. Tomorrow I will have a great update again to speak about the cinematic video set. I will install here a camera monitor with the output sync, so I will be absolutely with maximum control that I was constantly losing here and there. So about the books, let me switch the scenes. I'm from productional level, bit by bit, going a little better. So the best of the best, the Bible, absolute Bible of all the books about TCP. The enormous best of the best is this book. Everyone should have. This is an art of knowledge, and a little bit it's my property. When you do something, to do it holistically. Richard Stevens, he's passed away a few years ago, but his work is an exceptional quality from the every standpoint of view: exposition, details, quality. He has chosen. This book is an experience of TCP. It's not only for study. I will show you. I have other. I have, for example, not the original edition, but the Indian, done in other format and with other paper. It's not the same. It's completely different. You have to have this book. Whatever you do. It was quite expensive. I have no idea if I have here still the ticket. I bought this. On every book I have written when 8th of May 2008. 2009. So it starts with the pages of the headers and some reference about an architecture. And during the entire book, it makes reference to those for clearness. The paper is an art. It looks like real Bible. It is quality at its highest level on every detail. It is an experience of TCP. And I'm suggesting to have this one, the only one, first and unique edition. The volume 1, edition 2 is done not by Richard Stevens because he was already passed away from another person, and there is visible missing the point of the details of the cure of the material. Many things has been deleted from the second edition of the first volume. There are 3 volumes. I have the 3 of them, but they are different things. This is the TCP. TCP Illustrated Volume 1, The Protocols. Richard Stevens. with this thing that it seems like Pink Floyd. And it is all the details about the TCP, how it was in the 90s. Introduction, link layer, Internet Protocol ARP, reverse ARP, ICMP, ping, trace route, IP routing dynamic, but it is at the least to study with how the connections are instantaneous, everything. It is absolutely a delicious book. You have to have it. And this is the state transition diagram, which is a reference basically for TCP/IP. This is the best of the best. It is the Bible. You have to have it. Richard Stevens. It's present on my list. The second edition of this book, done by certain Kevin Fall, with foreword by Vince Cerf, which is the internet pioneer. And it is updated, but it's not the same thing. Absolutely not the same thing. And there are more updated arguments, surely, for sure, but it's not the same experience. Here there is IPv6, a little bit more things, more updated, not super updated, but a lot of stuff. Those books cannot be studied in 1 month or 2. You need a year to absorb, at least. And to understand it, it takes a decade. I'm not kidding. To absorb really TCP/IP, you need a decade. And different books. There is no perfect books with TCP from which you can learn TCP/IP. There are a plethora of books. Each and every one has some little chapter that has the big picture, on which piece by piece of the puzzle. And reading all the books, you need to do the research. And the TCP/IP is not to learn the subnetting. I have studied it for more than 20 years. I'm learning, and after that I forget it. So it's not that. It's the concept of the entire suite, how it works, and how the layers are encapsulated. And it is extremely fascinating. And this is more massive than the original version. But in my opinion, is missing this level of the original quality, and it becomes a more normal book of TCP/IP. But it's always the Bible. It is the updated Bible. And this is... I have the Indian. When I had the apartment in London, I missed certain books, so I have different of them. Two books, even three sometimes, based on where I was, and I needed the book, but I didn't have it, so I had to buy it. So this drifting colors comes from the RGB that that I'm having here, a lot of colors. My face is constantly yellow. And the Indian is obviously super cheap if you can buy, but the quality is inexistent. The paper is only to touch it. It's not readable. When you have the book without quality, it's not readable. But it is the second edition, Kevin Fowle, Richard Stevens, the same book as previous. This was auto-proclaimed the second edition, but not official, from the Stevens book, and it is very high quality. Walter Goralski. Now it has the second edition of this. Quite expensive, if I remember. And it is present, I think, in this for sure, but the second edition. It starts with the concept of the quality of the original book of TCP/IP, with the same concept of exposition, and it is extremely high quality book. It is very good to have. And the version 2 is updated in content on something. But
Alqubit, IT as an expression of art.
Absolutely in the style of Stevens' book, absolutely the same. And the cure about the details are done with the same meticulous hard work, if I can say. And it is much more extensive. It has routing protocols. It is a pleasure to study. From the layers addressing, IP4, IP6, datagram routing, forwarding, multiplexing, DHCP. TCP/IP is obviously the suite, and it is comprised with all the FTP, file transfer protocol, SMTP, for hypertext. There are a lot of arguments, and this book is the second best book on TCP. When you study TCP, what I'm having done, the concepts often is brought immediately to Wireshark in order to make it fun, but it stills your capacity to understand the protocol. If you start with Wireshark, you begin to think that you know the protocol. You don't know the protocol. Laura Chappell is absolute amazing knowledge in the protocols, in the Wireshark. In TCP, I have different books written by her, and it is amazing. This book, Wireshark Network Analysis, is absolutely, this is the second edition. I don't know, there was another one, Wireshark University or something like that. I don't know if there is a third edition. This one, I've got it 17 December 2014. And many of them, I bought them in San Francisco when I was going different conferences that were, the cost was much lower than in Italy. And I had the luggage very heavy. Laura is explaining exceptionally well the different aspects of the protocol troubleshooting, how to monitor, how to understand what you are doing effectively. It is absolutely excellent book. But this one, you should study it after the others. Even if it's much fun, you need to understand the basis very well before have this. This was the first one, first edition. It is basically the same, but the content is has changed quite a lot. I prefer to have them both because they are different things. But you can understand here how to analyze effectively the protocol. The first time when I started sniffing the network was with in 1997 with the original sniffer, which was rugged PC, dedicated industrial PC with this operating system and this dedicated network interfaces, even were licensed on the MAC address, and it had the first that now it's called AI. even in 1997, there was intrinsic knowledge in order to, it was basically, it was giving you the entire network with already, how it's called? I cannot remember how was the previous name of the AI. And I have done different analysis on the network since 1997 for clients. It was very costly at the time. It was imported directly for US. More than $100,000 was this sniffer. And this is the sniffer, Warshak. Okay. In the University of Milan, what's used for security was used this book of Douglas Comer. He is a real big personal person in the field. But this is not a good book from which you can actually learn TCP/IP. It has a lot of very high level analysis and arguments that has you cannot understand TCP with this book. I guarantee you. It is tough like a brick to you can it is impossible to learn. I have studied it, and from the desperation of this book that I have begun to explode it in buying books, thousands of them. This is the Italian version. And now I will show you the original version. This is the same book, but the Indian version, which I bought in London because I need it. Obviously the quality is lower with the paper that I cannot Douglas Comer. The same, the book, the same, sixth edition from Douglas Comer, TCP/IP, and this is a good edition. It's I like those. It is the original design of the book. It is much better to read. July 2013. Good brick, but not the best. You cannot start with this. It will be tough like crazy. You cannot learn TCP/IP from this. It has good elements, but it's extremely academic level of going around and around. This is always a network book of Douglas Comer. Much easygoing about networking, internet, TCP, a little bit of everything. And it has some elements that might help. Signals, a little bit of everything. A generic book. Now I have seen that there is a sixth edition. This is the fifth. They are not cheap, those books. But I have bought everything that was related to internet and TCP at the time, and now there is no much different. But it's Stephen's book is the best. Another great book in TCP is this one. Pehrous Forozan. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. But this is very good book. One of the good books when I bought it. I bought it in discount because no one buy these books in London and 2050. But if you buy it, the international edition was less costly. If you buy, I think the European edition, you spend something like more than 100 euros, if I'm not wrong. And it is one of those books that are very well done. And it has its elements which will help you to understand TCP/IP. But as I said, no one of the books are will bring you all the clarity of the protocol. Here has many things, but my mind works in specific way. I cannot remember book material just to read and record this hard disk. I need a saturation of data, fresh data, until I reach a point when my mind creates in the background an intuitive three-dimensional model in which I don't think anymore. It is like a vision. And I can see how the protocol works. For this three-dimensional model vision, it took me 10 years. It's maybe one of the hardest things. Usually, I struggle during the new material a lot, and I'm saturating, and all of a sudden everything clicks and creates this thing. This is why my way of doing projects is specific. I need to fresh data. I cannot remember details, even things that I have done for 20 years. If I don't use it, I think it's not only my property, but my mind is particularly good to selecting things and free the hard disk of all unrelated things. But this is very well done book. It is absolutely good to have. One of the books that are suggested in the university that I hate, I cannot study from this book. It is one of the worst books that I have seen. Kuros Ross, Computer Networking Top-Down Approach. Never study top-down approach. I cannot study from this. You need to bite this elephant bit by bit, not to start top down and in some Italian university, it is the reference book to study. It is more usable than the Douglas books that was a little bit of academic mess of everything. This is more related to the protocol. But still, you cannot learn the protocol actually from this thing. You have to know it already in order to match the thing and just to appreciate here and there something. I don't like this book. Many like it, and I absolutely not. Top-down approach is not the right approach, in my opinion. For the last, I will leave about Ethernet. Another excellent book of Laura Chappell.
Alqubit, IT as an expression of art.
Others that I will not. This is the 4th edition, and I had to buy. This is the 3rd edition. They're quite big. This is a very good book. Absolutely, everything that is written by Laura is excellent. 8 October 2015. I bought those in London. Good. This is good. And this is previous version with a little here and there some change. I had to buy it between Milan and London in different time. Urgently, I needed to remember or clear something, and I bought it on the go. So Laura Chappell all the time. Ethernet. There are 2 books, first edition and the 2nd edition, that have a little different name, but are written by the same author. And the second, now I'm seeing that it has the 2nd author. If you want to know Ethernet, you have to have this book. the switch book. It is the Bible of the Ethernet. And it is wonderful. So much details that you will get headache. But it is absolute amazing book for Ethernet. It's quite old. I don't know if you can find it even. This is the first edition, written only by Rich Seifert. And this is the second edition, a little bit lighter. The paper that has been used is lighter, better. And United Kingdom, yes, I bought it in 2015 during in London. I needed it, and I bought the second edition. So was already published, and this is as the first, basically for the big part, with some here and there link aggregation, something like that, a little bit more details. I'm doing this to see from where it's coming this yellowish color. I cannot understand. That is constantly on my face when I'm seeing. I thought that was the camera, that it's not the camera. At this point, it's some reflection or some summarizing of the different colors, and it's producing those. In fact, after the introduction of my 2 RGB left and white, I began to see this yellowish. It is very good book. It is a lot of stuff. But if you want to know Ethernet, this is the book. The another excellent, beyond excellent book about Ethernet. Neil Allen. Network Maintenance, a Troubleshooting Guide. Field-tested solution for everyday problems. This is absolute amazing about Ethernet. And many other things about all the details related to measurement. It is quite old already, but it is for sure still relevant about those arguments. And it is perfect integration with this one to understand Ethernet. It is must to have. I need to create second part, otherwise it will crumble everything. Another 2 books about Ethernet. First edition, Ethernet, the Definite Guide, Charles Spurgeon. This one, really good. It a lot of details, a lot you can learn definitely. I bought this May 29, 2008. And the second edition is this, with another co-author. 6 April 2014. And you will learn a lot. You will clear definitely everything about. And there is here Rich Seifel that has written about this book, the author of the book, of the Switch book. It is excellent. And Ethernet Core Protocols, this is one of the good books to have the overview of a little bit of everything. It is old book, but it has a little bit, it is generic book, but it's well done, well written. I have invested like there was no tomorrow, so I bought, but it is good. High quality book. So I hope you had enough of books. You can learn from those, and one decade is not enough. They are very tough books, a lot of things, a lot of information. I have used them during the last 15 years at different occasions, and it's never enough. Now I know, obviously, I have the intuition, I know where to search, how to search, what to search. I remember I have my mentality is with my background absolutely the same, and I think is the correct mentality of the real electronic engineer. As an engineer, you learn stuff, you know the stuff, but you can never memorize the things. You know when you need it, where to search, how to search, which kind of specs do you need in order to create a circuit and a project, a design. This is how my mind works, and this is why I'm struggling absolutely enormously and never like to study for certification, because it is absolutely out of track, out of your path, and it is only to throw money on the vendor. The real knowledge is other thing. Constant research, integration, and understanding, mental model of when you really understand things. And with this, I will end this here. It's quite a lot. So what I have in mind to do, because I have produced a lot of content during the last few months that are not related to technology, but I offer technology services. When I started, all my life basically it has been dedicated on technology, being electronics or IT or whatever it is might be. The concept is the same. The requirements, the specificity of the concept. You start the research, you grab all the details of the last technology or the last versions, integrate, begin to test, do your model, do your proof of concept, change, optimize, do the documentation. I start with the model on paper. If it works perfectly on paper, it starts from the day one in production. I guarantee this. This is my way of doing things. But it needs to be done with progression of research, development, validation, and everything. That's why my mind is completely different of the approach that now it's the cloud BS. The systems are done in the same way. It's not the product, it is the methodology, it is the knowledge, it is the integration of things, it is the reasoning and the design, which can be done in countless ways, countless elements different. But you choose one not because the vendor with the certification has made you dull to not understand the concept of system, but to repeat, only to repeat and use products. You need to understand and design real systems, which the starting point is requirements, necessity, performance, or whatever it might be, what needs to be done in the system by itself, end result, output. The same as in electronics. The same in IT. So I will end up here. I was explaining that I have this pile here, this pillar enormous of books. I would like to do not a real course on TCP/IP. I don't have nor the time, nor the energy. There is no so much value of creating. That is not my business. I want to create an explanation of TCP/IP. I have studied for real for 20 years TCP/IP, and I still cannot remember the history that I'm forgetting. So it will be related only on the protocol. Poor concept of the encapsulation of the frames of the message of the whatever level it might be, and how they interact, and where to study, how to test. And this will be the purpose. I hope to be in condition and able to produce at the level that I want. Still need to have the illumination about what kind of on the whiteboard or here in the interactive mode with the scenes and the documents. I will still need to test and to understand. But TCP/IP is 90% hard learning and really hard understanding. It is not the subnetting. Subnetting is one of the procedures, but in order to understand the protocol, you need to understand every level, you need to understand the encapsulation, you need to understand how dynamically everything works. And then you can understand security for real. And this is for today. I hope to see you soon in the next one. Thank you very much. And follow me, follow Alqubit, and there will be a lot more techy stuff. Thank you very much. Bye.